Speaker, I yield a minute and a half. The gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Bogg.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I appreciate the gentleman yielding. Madam Speaker, we have weak leadership now and a crisis in Afghanistan. We have a crisis at our border because of weak leadership. We have an inflation crisis because of weak leadership. And we have a crime issue in our cities as a result of weak leadership. And now we debate pre-clearance requirements that are unnecessary and unconstitutional. We hear that they're necessary because of voter ID laws. It takes an identification to buy liquor in this country, to buy marijuana in this country, to drive a car in this country. To enter this building, it takes an identification. And yet it is such a burden that we need to have pre-clearance with the Department of Justice because of that heavy burden that is being placed on citizens. Pre-clearance from an administration that has screwed up Afghanistan, screwed up the border, screwed up inflation, and we're supposed to go to them and ask them for permission because voter ID is such a burden. If there weren't people streaming across this border that could potentially vote, we wouldn't be asking for voter ID laws across this country, but we are. You can't screw things up on the one hand and on the other hand try to require pre-clearance. It's wrong. I ask my colleagues to vote no, and I yield back.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Madam Speaker, I yield 45 seconds to the distinguished